if you're borrowing money from anybody, I mean, outside of your traditional banks, it's all going to be emails. Although I get my bankers to take me out to lunch and top golf and go do, fun stuff and, you know, humidor. We were at the humidor last week. But your hard money, your private money, any types of deals you've got going, keep them in the loop. I mean, let them know, like, hey, we're on track. We're half done. Hey, we're finishing up. Shoot them an email, shoot them a text. Hey, we just listed it. Hey, we're under contract. All of that. If they don't hear from you until title company has to track them down for a payoff, you didn't do your job. You're not building any relationships. Let's put it that way. So just good communication. Talk to your lenders. Let them know. Shoot them pictures if they want. I don't mind when people send me pictures on deals I've lent on, but most lenders are going to be like, I'm good. But they'll appreciate the communication. They'll appreciate to know when it's under contract. They'll really appreciate to know if it's fallen out of contract and you have to relist it, because they think, they're tracking their spreadsheet and they're seeing, okay, under contract, closing date is March 13th, and then March 3rd comes along and you fall out of contract and you don't tell them, you have to relist it, and you're just hoping, you can get it back under contract before it comes due, before the original close date. Just communicate. Just regular communication is really, really helpful. I want to talk about a lender package. So I did this for quite a while, and I condensed it down to my deal financing sheet, and I've shared that in this group half a dozen times probably. We can do it again, but it's simply a spreadsheet that I put together that any deal that I have that I want to present to somebody. Now, hard money lenders, I think they're going to have their own websites and things like that, and this may not be pertinent, but if you're raising private capital, and this is, maybe you could include this in the submission for a deal. But I provide the address, I provide a Google Drive with all the pictures, I provide the Zillow link, I provide 3 comps, I provide my scope of work, and the basics on the house: bedroom, bathroom, square footage, just details. And it's just in the snapshot. It's our deal financing sheet. That goes a long way, especially when you're borrowing from Uncle Ricky and, some friend from high school or something. Like, you're put together. You can put together, if you're swinging for bigger deals, you can put together a whole proposal. I think that's wise and could be very helpful. You could submit your folder of information and, your credibility package, talk about how many deals you've done, why you're such a great person and such a low risk, high reward type of person. But yeah, any type of credibility package could be extremely helpful. If anybody wants ideas on that, I can point you in some resources. I did that initially. It looked kind of clunky, and then I started raising capital, and I just kind of landed on my deal financing sheet, where people wanted to just something at a glance.